All right, ladies and gentlemen, at Youmacon 2014 for StarCraft 2. We do apologize for the downtime between games, but this is a live tournament. If you didn't already know, there are people actually here sitting in front of us playing the game.
Yep, that's where they are.
And when one gets up, it takes a few minutes for the next one to sit down and do all the tournament-y things.
Unplug peripherals, plug in peripherals, install drivers, this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
Make sure we get into the lobbies.
But you know what? We have our next lobby set up and ready to go. It is going to be HBOL versus Dancer with a funny team name, and it's going to be a TVP. We saw HBOL last year at Youmacon 2013. Pretty impressive Terran, and I am excited to see what goes down in this match, so why wait?
Let's just get on into it.
I'm going to make sure the players are ready here. So for those of you that are just tuning in, this is Youmacon 2014 in Detroit, Michigan, which is right across the river from Windsor, Canada. We've got a lot of people here today. This is, if you saw our nice room here, we're in a room full of people. There's an entirely gaming room, all different kinds of genres, types of games, consoles, PCs, arcade, tabletop. There's a tabletop right behind us here, and looks like our players are ready. So let's get this party started. It's pretty cool. To our left here, that way is a league tournament. There's people standing all around for that. Over here is StarCraft.
Yep. There's fighting games to our right, and out in front of us, the great expanse of all of the other console games, and from all sorts of generations. I definitely saw Nintendo out there. I think there's some Super Nintendo.
Duck Hunt.
Sega.
We talked about that earlier. I'm gonna adjust this camera a little bit as it seems to be pointing a bit high. There we go. That's better. All right, lobby is loaded up. It is going to be HBOL versus Dancer as we are in the game once again. It is going to be in the left side of the map, top left side of the map. It is going to be our orange Protoss. His name is Dancer.
And in the top right-hand corner of this triangular map, we are watching the purple Terran. He is HBOL.
So HBOL last year showed us several things. He was more of kind of a diverse Terran, if I remember correctly. You know, we've seen a lot of mech so far of our Terrans at Youmacon. Ironically, I don't know why. It just seems like there's a lot of Terrans here that come to Youmacon and play mech. But HBOL, I think, was a little bit more of a bio-type player. So see a little bit of something different, and also Protoss. Last year, it was all T and Z, no P.
And we'll see if P makes it through to later on in the tournament, or if it gets flushed.
We digress. But yes, last year in the tournament, Protoss was out of the tournament fairly early, so it was all TVZs and ZVZs, I believe, as we went on to the later stages.
Yeah, it certainly was, but we'll see if our Protoss buddies do better this year. At any rate, more SCVs and drones on the way, or not drones, sorry, get my races straight, probes on the way. Gateway is coming down now.
Looks like nothing out of HBOL here. Looks like SCV going to be headed out here. Maybe early expand. He's got lots of minerals banked up. This is pretty ballsy. A command center first against Protoss. All right.
No fear.
No, and if I do remember correctly, it's something that he likes to do. He's kind of a more risky player, but sometimes it works out. But we'll see. Another SCV coming down here to do a little bit of scouting. Looks like Dancer went around the bottom to scout there first. This is a 3-player map, so you've got a 50% chance of finding your opponent in the right spot. Looks like HBOL is going the correct direction. Maybe? Oh, last second decision change.
Well, he wanted to get that tower to see what was going on. He's going to miss seeing that probe go by.
Inconvenient chain of events there, but he's going into the correct base, although there's nothing too crazy going in his base. 1 gas and a Cybercore coming down. If he doesn't put down another gas here soon, this will be looking a lot like a 4-gate, but we'll see what ends up coming down as the SV does come in the base. Zealot on its way out. We'll see what he produces here next. He is got a probe going into HBOL's base. No gas so far from HBOL since he did put down that command center first. Obviously not going to be getting the Reapers. Our Marine on its way out. Probe now going for the expand, so definitely just going for a Gateway Cybercore into expand sort of opening here for Protoss.
Yeah, I think that he saw the expansion from his opponent and decided that he needed to expand as well, as opposed to try and do all-in aggression.
I kind of like that opening there. It kind of gives him, seems like gives him a lot of options, because if he saw something crazy, he could kind of go along the more aggressive path that says, oh, he has an expansion, so I guess I'm going to go ahead though HBOL's will be a little bit ahead as he's coming out here. Probe is coming back. SV is at the tower, so he will lose control of that. They'll both hide in the smoke and play hide and seek.
I don't even know if they're going to play hide and seek. They're just happy to stay there and have a tea party.
Nexus is going down. Gas has begun from HBOL. And looks like you're also going to have another third command center coming down. So very macro-oriented play here so far out of HBOL. And a tech lab as well going down on the barracks. So it looks like we're going to be having that bioplay bunker at the front. Although there really isn't a whole lot out of Dancer so far to put on a whole lot of pressure. Both these diligent workers here guarding the uncontrolled tower.
Yep. But that is going to mask the approach of the Mothership Corps and this Stalker, who are going to try and get something done here. There are a handful of Marines in a bunker, but if they can walk right on by there.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, he's going to sort of lose the opportunity here with the Stalker just kind of hanging back to be able to kill the SCV before the Marines go in. Marines load up. I don't think he would be able to get past that bunker without taking way too much damage. But he could go in the back of the base like he's doing here with the Mothership Corps, draw the Marines back out of the bunker. This could be a pretty cool play if he draws them back out and then goes into the natural with the two Stalkers.
Dancer following this up with getting more gateways, and he's continuing to make those probes.
Oh, it looks
Robo
like
about to finish.
Didn't really want to do much there, just kind of poked in and poked right back out. Warp gate is completing, though no pylon here on the other side of the map, so just going to be satisfied with killing an SCV and doing a little bit of scouting and wandering around. Another Marine at the base of the ramp for HBOL. Probably going to be wrapping out the capacity of that bunker here soon. Not sure what Dancer wanted to get done with these Stalkers here.
Yeah, it looks like they're moving home now. I think that he was maybe worried that because HBOL took such an early expansion, because his Mothership Corps ran into that third just to see what was going on there and didn't end up finding anything.
Yeah, but it looks like pretty stable play from both players. I mean, HBOL got that sort of in-base orbital command for the extra mules and a little bit of extra SCV production. Once he maxes out his natural expansion here, he'll move that down to a third base, which really isn't super easy to defend, especially with the more bioplay here. It's very kind of separated, so he's going to have a hard time with that. But the Observer is coming in from Dancer, so he will be able to see what's going on, which so far is just kind of fairly standard play. Twilight Council coming down from Dancer, so it's going to be Templar. I love this play, Gallegation. I love it.
Oh, I know. I've seen you do it multiple times, and you know, it could work out really well for him.
Yeah, it looks like he's just using that robo facility for Observers so far. Going to be getting High Templar out, which, you know, these players have been kind of sitting around here visiting with each other for a while, kind of watching each other practice. So a little bit of scouting going on. I believe Winter posted a couple pictures of Twitter saying, step 4, scout your opponent. Is a picture of Desro playing at another station. So definitely been some opponent scouting going on. So if he you know, saw that he's more of a bio player, could go for something like that. Charge going down, as well as Storm here shortly. More gateways, but still no shot at aggression from either player.
Yeah, HBOL is just getting a decent bio army up here. Not really a whole lot of Marauders. Marauder production is picking up a little bit now, but he's got a lot of barracks coming down, and that +1 upgrade is getting very close to finishing.
He does have a lot of observers around, which HBOL hasn't really cared too much about, and he's going to see all of this bio moving out, so he's going to know something is definitely on the way. Storm is about 1/3 done, so if he chrono boosts the absolute crap out of that, he might be able to get it done by the time he gets there. It does have a Templar out, so it will have the energy. This is literally the best part of this. I'm a Protoss player, so I have to root for the Protoss, but this could go horribly for HBOL.
And he moved out before Stim's really all that close to finishing. It's only about 3/4 of the way done. And he is scouting around the map, trying to find what is available, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to skirt a little bit around that Observer that was kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, additional warp gates opening up here for Dancer, so he has extra warping ability, but it looks like HBOL doesn't really want to commit to it yet. Storm just finishing up, Charge finishing up as well, and he's going to be moving his third base out. Maybe he was just looking around for pylons or other things around the map.
Third base is anything goofy, and so the forced march comes to a close. They meet back up with the rest of the platoon, and that third base does land right underneath the Observer, so Dancer immediately begins a Nexus in a third base position.
Yes, he does. And he's going to be just kind of taking a break from the tech here, just kind of working up what he's got here so far. He's got Archons, got Templar, got Zealots. So, I mean, he really needs to start thinking about transitioning into Colossus here would be the next step. But Also, doing a little bit of damage before that would be good too. Maybe a Storm Drop would definitely be something that would be a good choice if he doesn't see much aggression, but he does have HBOL moving out here. He does still have that Observer there, so he knows that he's out on the map, and looks like he's coming out to meet him. Nice load up here from HBOL, going to be doing a double prong type of attack here as he comes out the middle. Going to be running right into the back. He does scan and sees the third base, sees the Templar down there, and is not well defended. But he's going to walk right past all the juicy stuff of Dancer here. And 2 Storms could go down right on top of the... Oh, so disgusting.
Yikes. Yeah. Oh, the mine didn't burrow. It needs to burrow. What are you doing, mine? Oh, it doesn't. So it apparently doesn't even get punished. But there is a lot of Marauders in the main base, and those Marauders are stimming to all oblivion.
He's trying to go all Colt up in here. Yeah. Get that Nexus snipe down, but he was not able to get it. It was taking too many losses. So HBOL with a nice push there, but really not able to get it done. Is that, oh, here comes the War Prism, and is he able to see it? Not quite sure if that skirted his range or not, but doesn't really have anything in there. It'd be nice to see a couple Templar in there for a Templar drop, but that was really good positioning by Dancer to have his army there to kind of cut HBOL's as he was working his way towards his third base.
So HBOL returning home, trying to lick his wounds with those medevacs a little bit and continue to rebuild the army with bio.
And again, he is just kind of hanging out right under the Observer of Dancer. So, and this is the best spot to be as a Protoss, to have your Observers kind of go undefended. Maybe just not quite seeing the ripple there to be able to do the scan to get rid of that.
So Dancer flew this Warp Prism in and got it ready to do some kind of warp in, but then just let it sit there. The Marines came in and cleaned it up. So that opportunity is lost. However, it did pull some Marines to the back, and now the army of Dancer is hanging out in the middle of the map.
HBOL does not have his mines really burrowed. He's just kind of hanging out here. And Dancer has a pretty strong looking army here. It looks like he's moving into the robotics bay here, so he's going to be transitioning into the Colossus, which is the definite next step in this build. But he's got a pylon here for additional warpins, and he's got all the units he wants, and this is going to be pretty nasty with all these Zealots and at least 2 to 3 Storms, depending on the energy and how long he waits on those Templar. He is in the range of the sensor tower for HBOL now, so he knows what's coming.
Yep. There is a Ghost Academy down, and it is starting to research that good old cloak, but there are no ghosts in production just yet.
There is, looks like he's getting positioned here, warping another Archon, but oh, maybe not the best attack angle. Those Archons a bit exposed on the top side there.
Yeah, those Zealots were not really in position to soak up that damage, and now HBOL is splitting his forces a little bit. Looks like he wants to try and get whatever concave he can split up so it's a little bit easier to mitigate those storms.
Mine's still up there, still not burrowed. Those Zealots are going to run in, get that nice buffer there for the Storms that are going down. HBL moving his units back, but those Zealots doing an excellent job buffering as the Storms are just absolutely ravaging the bio. Now the Zealots moving up into the natural and the third base simultaneously.
Yeah, and these Zealots continuing to move in, and the bunker does fall. The units of HBOL here are just starting to dwindle a bit. He's trying to do what he can with reinforcements coming down, but the force field goes down on the ramp, so reinforcements are going to be cut off here for a second, and this natural base is completely exposed.
Yeah, this is not looking good for HBOL. He doesn't quite have the production to be able to make enough units to hold this off. Looks like he's making 4 Marauders at a time. Cloak is just about done for the Ghosts.
And
but
GG.
That's going to be GG. So, I mean, an unexpected victory there. Possibly. But absolutely one of my favorite builds. So happy to see that. Gosh, this camera. There we go. Focus is hard, Delegation.
Yeah, you know, it really is. It's hard to focus. Maybe we need to get it some Ritalin.
Yeah. But going back to the game, this is just an absolutely great game. I love to see that play out of Protoss. It is one of my favorite builds. It's so hard to deal with, especially against a person that you see is going bio. And it's definitely benefited by the fact that you have such amazing vision. I mean, he had those observers out there forever.
Yeah, he really did. And I mean, he had him spread like a Zergwood Overlords, too. Like, he really had good vision. He had the attack paths down. He was a little bit caught off guard by the drop in the main base, and I think that the game would have gone very differently if he had been able to snipe that Nexus. But he was only able to get it about halfway through its actual hull health through the shields before he was chased away by that photon overcharge. and some zealots showing up. So not ideal. He really, I like the intention there. I really did, but there just wasn't enough there.
I think it would have gone a little better too if he wouldn't have had the lion's share of his army at that point taken out by the little clutch force of Dancer out in front of his natural while he was trying to run around and snipe the third. So HBOL, I mean, he made multiple attempts at trying to lower the base count, because if we remember correctly, that's what he likes to do. He likes to stay ahead in bases. I mean, as honestly any player does, but that's one of his focuses, it seems like, is to try and stay ahead in bases as Terran, use those mules, use those scans to his advantage to be able to find the poking opportunities that are the best and most fruitful, but it just, all of his attempts didn't work out today.
Not today, no.
Or at least for now.
That's right.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, that's right. We got one more game to go, maybe, and maybe two, depending on if HBOL is able to pull out game 2. So the lobby is being created by our admins, and they are trying to get things together for us to get into that second game. And we should have an update soon on that.
Yep, so the lobby is being created. We'll take a brief break here real quick while we get that set up, and then we will be right back with game number 2 versus HBOL and Dancer. Maybe we can even see some dancing. You never know. We'll be right back, folks.